Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nur Syafiqah binti Abu Bakar and my matrix number is 255622. In this video, I would like to present my proposal on topic relationship between foreign direct investment to Malaysia economic growth. On chapter 1, I'll explain on the meaning of FDI, background of study, problem statement, research question, objective of study, and lastly, significance of study. Introduction. This study examines the causal relationship between foreign direct investment and the economic growth in Malaysia. Malaysia, as the developed country, needs support from other countries for economic growth. This is done by reserving massive direct investment, which contributes to higher economic growth. During 2009, Malaysia faced a downward trend on FDI. In many studies, decreasing FDI affects employment rate significantly. This study focused on the effect of FDI growth to the economic growth in Malaysia. Other factors such as the inflation rate, exchange rate, unemployment rate, and interest rate are also included in the study. According to Uthman 1996, investment is an injection of economic flow country. Therefore, fluctuation in the level of investment will cause the situation. The boom and bust in economic foreign investment will certainly provide an effective contribution to the future economic growth of the country. Next, I'll proceed to the background of study. Since its formation in 1963, Malaysia's economic performance has been one of Asia's best. GDP grew by an average of 6.5% per year from 1967 to 2005. Performance peaked in early 1980s through the mid-1990s as the economic experienced sustained peak growth averaging almost 8% annually. High level of foreign and domestic private investment plays significant role as economy diversified and modernized. Next, I'll proceed to the background of study. Since its formation in 1963, Malaysia's economic performance has been one of Asia's best. GDP grew by an average of 6.5% per year from 1957 to 2005. Performance peaked in the early 1980s through the mid-1990s as the economy experienced sustained rapid growth averaging almost 8% annually. High level of foreign and domestic private investment played a significant role as the economy diversified and modernized. According to the International Monetary Fund definition, direct investment reflects the aim of obtaining a lasting interest by a resident entity for one economy in an enterprise that is resident in other economy. Next is the problem statement. In general, an increase in FDI has created wider job market for the local labor as well as technological assistance and expertise to Malaysia. This financial assistance helped Malaysia to strengthen the economy with the optimal level of employment and local production. Somehow, high FDI allowing rapid development in the manufacturing industry, which caused the shortage of labor that encouraged foreign investors to bring in the foreign labor for the production and also attracting the illegal foreign labor to work in Malaysia, creating the disequilibrium of labor market system due to unreliable data of labor costs. Furthermore, the independency on foreign investment has caused Malaysia to face great impact on unemployment, especially during economic recession. Next, I'll proceed to the research question. The first one is, how FDI can affect Malaysia economic growth? Second, what are the factors that can give impacts to the increasement of FDI in Malaysia? Third, how government managed to stabilize and increase the rate of FDI in Malaysia? The objective of the studies are to analyze the causal link between FDI and its impact to economic growth in Malaysia. Next, to analyze the latest econometric analysis result, which are more realistic and applicable for the policy maker. Lastly, to discover new variables that can affect economic growth in Malaysia. As an export-dependent country like Malaysia, FDI is one of the major sources of growth for the manufacturing sector. Our economy relies on foreign funds as a major source of capital, technical skills, as well as modern technology. International financial integration, globalization, and expansion of global production have intensified FDI in the past decades. In recent news early 2019, the Finance Minister of Nation has made known of Malaysia successful in achieving the highest FDI in the history. The country has received 21.7 billion on FDI in the first quarter of 2019, and at this time last year, we recorded for 11.2 billion of FDI. This represents a growth of as high 94.8% in FDI alone. The improvement in FDI has demonstrated the strength of economy and the rising confidence of foreign investors in Malaysia and the ruling government. Hence, this empirical study will help us to identify the factors that could lead to the FDI growth. Next, I would like to explain the research methodology used for this study. The present study is intended to examine whether the FDI has an impact to the economic growth of Malaysia. However, we have also attempted to analyze the role of balance of trade, exchange rate, inflation, unemployment rate, and inflation rate in the growth enhancement of Malaysia. Furthermore, we also examine the non-linearities associated with the relationship between the FDI growth and the possible factors affecting it. To achieve our objective, we move ahead in production function framework. There are few techniques and information used to collect the data of the research. First is data, information and sources. There are few methods applied for the data collection technique. This was done in order to collect adequate and relevant data to address the research objective of this study. The data used in this study is secondary data, which collected from internet, journals. Secondary source can be seen as selected in bibliographies such as from Malaysia Economic Report, the globaleconomic.com, report of Bank Negara Malaysia, annual report of MEDA, and lastly the data from UNCTAD. Next is data collection information. This study used annual data on inflation rate, export and import to get the balance of the trade, exchange rate, unemployment rate, and the gross domestic product per capita over the period from 1977 to 2014, which consists of 37 observations in total. Data used in this study is are collected from the Department of Statistics in Malaysia. Method of analysis and data. To test for the possible existence of a correlation with the Hausmann test. This test tests the null hypothesis of non-existence of a correlation between unobservable individual effects and the growth determinants against the alternative hypothesis of an existence of a correlation. Next is instrument of research. Regression analysis is used to investigate the relationship between dependent variables and independent variables. It can be used to describe and explain the movement of one variable to another variable. Its objective is to build a regression model and to predict the variables based on the coefficient result from the regression. On the contrary, if there is a correlation, the most appropriate way of carrying out the data analysis is to use the time series model of fixed effects. Next is scope of study. The first is target population. The target population for the study is mainly in Malaysia. Next is place of study. This study is focused on Malaysia using cross-sectional data. The reference period for this study was a time series from year 1977 to 2014. The total period of data collection is 37 years. In conclusion, the method chosen for this study and this chapter explain the methodology used to achieve objective in this study. It describes the model specification and model specification on beginning with the final step for analysis. The model used in this study is based on theoretical framework and some changes in the variables are used. That's all from me. Thank you.